Alright, we'll wait a few minutes for people to get in. We'll wait for a few more minutes for people to get in. Because we're going to talk about... And I'm not going to do this as a long, boring video. But it's going to be a quick one. Probably about a half hour at least. But I don't want to get into it all friggin' day. But... anyways, what I want to talk about last night is supposedly Donald Trump was supposedly at the Super Bowl last night. Here we go again. All right, that was the last video trying to get to the channel so I can get to the chat. So, and I know I didn't spell Super Bowl right. So video trying to get to the channel. So I know I didn't spell Super Bowl right for all the trolls that are watching. But here, I'm going to say this really, really quick. Yesterday's video, when I was trying to watch the end of the Super Bowl, I didn't have time to get into it. What I really believe, without a fiber of my being, two things happened. Two things happened yesterday. Number one, two scenarios happened. Number one, Donald J. Trump, the president, was at the Super Bowl. He was there for a few minutes, made a public appearance, and then fucking left. That's theory number one. And the reason why I say left, because you didn't see Donald Trump on the screen again throughout the whole Super Bowl. You never once saw him on screen again. You only saw him the one time at the beginning. Like, hey, hello, hey, how you doing? I'm here. And you didn't see him a second time. So that tells me that two scenarios, and I forgot one of these scenarios last night. This is why I'm discussing it again. Number one, he was really there. Was there for 5 to 10 minutes. And then snuck out of the back of the Super Bowl because, like I said, you saw him at the beginning of the game. You didn't see him on camera again the rest of the game. That's possibility number one. Number one. Number two is they sent the body double to the Super Bowl, meaning it really wasn't the real Donald Trump. And again, they showed the body double one time. The body double stuck around for a few minutes and also left the Super Bowl. Because I find it funny that you're seeing Donald Trump on camera at the beginning of the Super Bowl and then you didn't see him again. But yet... and I can't think of the actor's name. I was going to look it up before I made the video. But he's one of fucking Adam Sandler's friends, and he's one of Chris Rock's friends. The guy who played in Multiplicity. It was a movie where this guy clones himself like 7 or 8 times. So in one row you had fucking... you had in the balcony one time they showed, about 5 times they showed Chris Rock up in the balcony. About 4 or 5 times they showed that Paul McCartney was there at the game. 4 or 5 times they showed that Paul McCartney was at the game. Several times they showed that Lady Gaga. Sorry, wrong lady. It came out as Lady Di because she was in my mind from the last video. So they showed Lady Gaga in the stands several times. And like I said, Paul McCartney and a few others. They showed Samuel L. Jackson in the stands several times. Plus, he was also the guy who brought on the guy in the halftime show. So Samuel L. Jackson was on camera multiple times. Lady Gaga was on camera multiple times. The actor who played in that movie Multiplicity, where he clones himself multiple times, was shown again. Chris Rock was shown on the screen. And a few other celebs. All night they kept showing different, but they showed all those other people multiple times on the camera. But the whole 5 hours of the game, you only seen Donald Trump once. You only seen him once. And yet they made a big deal of him being the first president to go to a Super Bowl. Now, if he was the first president to go to a Super Bowl, don't you think if he was really there, they would have showed him on camera more than once? This is why it doesn't add up to me. I think it was fake. I think we were all played. So I gave you 2 scenarios. One, Donald Trump was really there, made an appearance. Hey, look at me. I'm really here. Hello, America. Let's make America great again. I'm really here. And then left. Or Donald Trump really wasn't fucking there and they put a fucking body double in there. They put an actor in there acting as him. So if I had to guess which one of the two it was, I'm going to say that Donald Trump was never at the Super Bowl. I'm going to say the one that was there at the Super Bowl was probably a body double. And that's why they didn't do an extreme close-up on Donald Trump. They did it from a little bit of a distance, so you couldn't really see him that good. Because if he was, how come they, like I said, they showed Lady Gaga several times. They showed Paul McCartney several times. They showed fucking Samuel Jackson several times. The actor from Multiplicity several times. There was a few other musicians there that I can't think that were shown on camera multiple times. But you mean to tell me Donald Trump's going to be the first president to go to a Super Bowl and they're only going to show him once? I'm not buying it, people. I call that BS alert. Or as Monograph would call it, the greatest show on earth. Because if they made a big deal out of him being the first president to go to a Super Bowl, why didn't they show the camera on him multiple times? Why do we have him at the beginning of the game and we don't see him again? If that ain't strange to you people, I don't know what is. And I'm not trying to fucking, talk about Super Bowl shit because I know people are tired of the Super Bowl. The game already ended, but I don't even think he was really there. I think it was a body double so that way he could do what he said. Oh, I promise that I'm going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to be the first president to go to the Super Bowl. So they sent a fucking body double over there to do a quick wave, make it look like he was there, and then you didn't see him again? Come on. I can't believe people on YouTube are this stupid. If you believe that Donald Trump was there, I got some beachfront property to sell you on the moon. Yeah, I got beachfront property for you on the moon. With a nice ocean view and everything else. You can build a hotel on it and you can call it the Myrtle Beach of the moon, for Christ's sake. I don't think he was there, people. I think everybody was played. I think they sent the body double over there. That's just my opinion. Because it makes no sense to me why you would only show him one time in a 5-hour period. And you never see him again the rest of the game. Really? 5+ hours. And Donald Trump is only there at the beginning when whoever grabbed the mic and said, and the rock is regular, and they put a camera on Trump. Great truth to the night that our flag was. And then you don't see Trump after that? Come on! Really? I'm telling you, he wasn't fucking there. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't fucking there. It was a body double, and then when everybody got distracted at the game, they snuck the body double out of the fucking back door. I like I said, I actually believed this shit. I had a video I was going to play, but I lost it now. I don't know where the fuck I put it. Where Donald Trump is on Air Force One, and the captain at the fucking gets on the radio and says, "Oh, we are now crossing over the newly formed Gulf of America, and soon we will be landing in Louisiana, where Donald Trump will be making an appearance at the Super Bowl." And it was supposed to be a video of him in Air Force One flying into the Super Bowl, and I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not buying it. I'm not fucking buying it. Oh, man. So, yeah, where did that other go? Oh, I see it. Oh, I just seen where I'm looking for it. I found it. No, that's Lady Di. Where did I have it? I know I just watched that video a minute ago. What did I do with it? I can't find it now. I tried. But, like I said, if you believe Donald Trump was at the Super Bowl last night, I got some oceanfront property to tell you on the moon. Real team. And all of that, I'll throw in a special spacecraft that can get you through the Van Allen radiation belt, which I don't think the real astronauts who went to the moon the last time really went there, because there's a thing called the Van Allen radiation belt. And I think if NASA really did try to land on the moon in '69, those astronauts would have been fucking fried. But, yeah, I got oceanfront property on the moon to tell you. I got a special spacecraft where you can go right on through the Van Allen radiation belt, and you can land up there, and you can build your luxury hotel. Now, what I just said sounds ludicrous, right? Well, me thinking that Donald Trump was at the Super Bowl, to me, that's ludicrous. It just doesn't add up, people. It just doesn't sit right. So you mean to tell me Chris Rock gets shown on camera multiple times, Lady Gaga gets shown on camera multiple times, the guy from the actor from Multiplicity, which I can't remember who the fuck he is, right? was there, Samuel L. Jackson, Lady Gaga, Paul McCartney was shown at least 8 to 10 times that I recall. But they only showed Donald Trump once? Really? It doesn't add up. But you gotta remember, when it comes to the government, they're playing you. It's the greatest show on earth. And that ain't my words for it, that's Monograph's words for it. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. You know, we have Monograph talks about it all the time. He talks about how there's a new world order clock and a new world order clock, and old versus old. And and then they changed the calendar. We used to have a 13-month calendar, and now it's a 12-month calendar. And they changed this, and they changed that, and they changed because it's all the greatest show on earth. Everything they told you in your whole life has been a lie. Because it's the greatest show on earth. And Monograph preaches this over and over and over again. And every time Monograph is talking about the new world order clock versus the old world order clock, I want to cue up that song. As I was walking down the street one day, a guy asked me what time of day. And I said, does anybody really know what year it is? Does anybody know what time of day it is? Okay, I changed it a little bit. Because they keep changing history and dates. Just like I'm 48 fucking years old, and they're gonna say Pluto is no longer a planet. Well, it was a planet to me for 48 fucking years. It's still a fucking planet. And then the latest thing that they did now, the latest thing when they tried to change history and change everything. Because a couple years ago, they made this rule where none of the fucking military bases can be named after Confederate soldiers. So sometime in the last couple of years, they changed fucking Fort Bragg to Fort Liberty. Well, for 50 fucking plus years, Fort Bragg was Fort Bragg. So it's still fucking Fort Bragg to me. I will never call it Fort Liberty. So we have changed history. We have changed historical dates. They fuck with CERN. They turn that fucking CERN thing on, and they fuck up the time traveling and all this other shit. Where we got this Mandela effect now. We got the New World Order clock versus the New World Order clock. Nobody knows what fucking year we're really in. Nobody knows what fucking time we're in. And I want to play that song every time Monograph's talking about that. I was walking down the street one day. Dun, 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 dun. Okay? I literally want to play that song every time Monograph talks about this shit. And just because you erase the history, because you want to erase history doesn't mean it didn't happen. So, yeah, at one time the world was supposed to end in 2012, according to the Mayan calendar. But they're gonna fire up that CERN. Oh yeah, we're gonna turn CERN on, and we're gonna change everything, right? we're gonna turn fucking CERN on, and we're gonna fucking change everything. No, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Oh, there goes my battery pack again, because I need a new one, so my battery pack that runs the computer is bad, but Emote is demonetized, so Emote can't afford another $60 battery pack. So that's going to continue to buzz now, because I can't reset the power in the middle of a goddamn live stream. So you're going to hear that fucking buzzing for a little while, because I can't fucking reset it right now. Come on. So we'll just leave that. Oh, it's Chicago. I should have known better. It was Chicago. So we've changed everything. We changed our history. We've changed everything. And like I said, every time one of these truthers is talking about the fucking New World Order clock versus the old world clock, I want to play this fucking song.
As I was walking down the street one day, a man came up to me and asked me what the time was that was on my watch. Yeah, I said, does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really care? If so, I can't imagine why. We've all got time enough to cry.
So that's the song I think of every time somebody talks about the New World Order clock and the old World Order clock. Because like I said, Monograph says everything they told you in your life is pretty much a fucking lie. Because it's the greatest show on earth. There was no way Donald Trump was at the Super Bowl last night. No fucking way. There's no doubt in my mind he wasn't fucking there. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. And then they fired this fucking CERN thing up, right? They fired fucking CERN up. And like I said, if you don't like the beat, somebody needs to send me like $80 so I can buy a new battery pack. So we're here until the battery goes dead, because we're not running on 110 power right now. The battery pack kicked out, and we're on the battery right now. We're on the battery backup. So I'm on the battery power, but in about 15 minutes, this battery's going to run out, and Emo's going to go poof right in the middle of the live stream. So, like I said, there's no way he was there at the Super Bowl. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, people. I do not believe he was at the Super Bowl. So, like I said, if he was really there, he was there for a few minutes and then left. Or option 2, they put a body double in somebody pretending to be Donald Trump that made an appearance, made it look like Donald Trump, and also the body double left. So if it was a double, that meant that Trump never left Washington, D.C. If I was to guess, knowing the government and knowing how people have tried to take Donald Trump, well, let me put it in another way. People have tried to JFK Donald Trump. And because people have tried to JFK Donald Trump, to me, in my eyes, I do not think they would allow him to attend the Super Bowl. Okay? I think it was too high risk. So if I had to guess who they sent over there, I'm going to say most likely it was a body double. That's who I believe it was. I believe it was a fake Donald Trump at the Super Bowl. I believe it was to give the illusion that Donald Trump was a man of his word and that Donald Trump was really going to be at the Super Bowl. When in reality, it was a fake Donald Trump, and Donald Trump had his happy little ass in the movie room of the White House. That's where I believe Donald Trump watched the Super Bowl. In the movie studio at the White House. Because I'm sure the White House has its own built-in movie theater. And I bet you that's where Donald Trump really was. He never left Washington, D.C., people. Or that little recording that's going around the internet saying, oh, we're flying over the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, and soon we're going to be landing in fucking New Orleans. I call bullshit on that. I don't think Donald Trump was at the Super Bowl. And like I said, people have changed history so much. They have planets that were planets are no longer planets anymore. The original calendars have all been changed. Nobody in reality knows what time it is. Everything's been changed. We have the Mandela effect now where instead of if you build it, they will come. No, it's now, if you build it, he will come. When I grew up, as a kid, everybody used to call the ground in your house, right? Because I'm on the second floor. So where my feet are right now is the floor. When you go outside and you walk on your grass, you're on the ground. But ever since the Mandela effect, people are now calling the outside where the grass is the floor. Okay, so let me put it this way. Go to your Home Depot right now. Go to your Home Depot right now. Okay? Go to your Home Depot and tell them, I need a floor wire for an antenna. Do they sell a thing called a floor wire? Or do they sell a ground wire for an antenna? The thing that they put in the ground. The 8-foot copper fucking... That 8-foot copper fucking spike that they drive in the ground, and then you run a wire to your fuse box to make everything in your house. Do they call that a flooring rod, or do they call that a grounding rod? Because everybody seems to call the grass outside the floor now. When did we start calling the grass outside the floor? Ever since they fired up Stern, right? Come on, people. You're being played here. You're being fucking played. I don't believe for one fucking minute Donald Trump was at that fucking Super Bowl. I don't buy it. Just like they didn't put no fucking man on the moon either. Come on, people. Nobody can be that fucking stupid. So they have twisted everything so bad we don't even know what time it is. And why? Because they didn't want the Mayan calendar to be right. That's why they fired up CERN. And that's why we have a new world order clock and an old world order clock. So is this really February 10th, 2025? Is this really 14:19 in the afternoon? Like I said, people have changed shit so much that you don't even realize what time you're in. And that's why that Chicago song is right. Does anybody really know what time it is? Does anybody really fucking care? Does anybody seem to wonder why? Things are the way they are. Changing the fucking lyrics a little bit. That fits the New World Order, people. That song fits the New World Order. Yes, it does. And every time Monograph talks about this shit, that's the first song I think of in my head. So, and like I said, I apologize for the beeping. The beep is my battery backup. And I'm running on battery power right now. Because what happens is, the battery pack has gotten old, people. It's gotten old to the point where at least once a week the 110 drops out and it goes to the battery. And the only way I can get the beeping to stop is I gotta go over to the fucking APC button, because it's regular battery pack. Only it has a round button on it. You know, some battery packs have a toggle switch. This one has a button. I literally got to go over to the battery pack and push the fucking button. Push the button, which is going to shut the fucking battery. It kills the battery and resets the APC unit. It will completely drop the connection, and then I gotta wait a minute, and then I can hit the button again, and the fucking APC power pack will come back on again. And the reason why they do that when they get old, you're supposed to only use them for like 4 fucking years. This one I bought in 2017. You do the math. You're not supposed to use the battery pack this long. So I'm literally on battery power right now. And that's why it's beeping, because when you lose the 110, the regular outlet, it beeps to let you know you're no longer on regular power. It's supposed to let you know that. Because the idea is the beep is supposed to come on, and then you have a few minutes while you're on the battery to, like if you have a Word document open, or maybe if you're writing somebody an email, or if you want to save your tabs you have open, it gives you a few minutes where you don't lose all your work. It's also good to have when you... Mexico made the power used to go off all the time. It used to be a pain in the ass when you were in the middle of editing a fucking video. The power would... It was a 4-hour live stream and you wanted to cut it down. And the power would go out. You would lose everything without a battery pack. So if you were 3 hours and 40 minutes into a 4-hour live stream and you didn't have the battery pack and your power went out, you would lose all that editing. You'd have to start all over again when you got your power back. So that's what a battery backup allows you to do. It's only supposed to be temporarily. I'm surprised this battery hasn't kicked out yet. So right now I'm on battery power. That's why the computer's gone. Because it's letting me know that the 110 is off. The 110 went out again. So there's only one way to fix it. Is I gotta hit the button. Which means emo will disappear. The whole live stream. So I'll have to watch the chat replay and see what you guys said afterwards because I lost the chat. But, yeah, I'm reaching for the button now. Yep, see, there goes the monitor. Where the hell's that button? Where are you, you sumbitch? Yep, see, the battery's getting weak because, as you can see, the monitor's flashing now. So I'm losing power in the monitor. And we're going to reset it now, which means it's going to drop me. So here we go.